集《港生活港享受》，一齊去品嚐米芝蓮星級名菜，睇下點樣用新科技令自己變成一位專業咖啡師。同陳思銘傾下偈，分享佢對中古名錶嘅熱愛，仲會借藝術去放鬆身心。
我中意簡單嘅嘢，食物都一樣。咁我意思又唔係話我中意食淡味嘅嘢喎，我就係覺得咧簡單個調味就可以帶出食物原本個味道。我覺得咁樣咧係最好嘅。
簡單嘅菜式係唔錯，不過我覺得咧食物咧唔單止係味覺嘅享受，精緻嘅菜式咧仲係一種藝術。最緊要咧就係欣賞翻大廚嘅心思啦，同埋廚藝。
Not everybody goes to a restaurant with the same intention, with the same purpose. People might just meet for a business talk, or it can be family gathering, some sort of a celebration. I believe it's our duty and at the same time our pleasure and our aim in order to make them feel comfortable, regardless the reason, let's say, or why they come with us. Burger has been probably was born in order to use all those parts, let's say, less premium, less important of the beef. But eventually the burger itself can be also like a very fancy item, and could be also, let's say, represent a very high level of preparation. So of course it depends on the ingredient you use at first and all the surrounding that comes with that. We normally experience that many of our guests and friends really go crazy, especially for a lunch proposal with the burger itself. Otherwise we can turn it, let's say, a bit more fancy when it comes to the mini size of those. Beef tartare is always like very, very appealing and very direct dishes, I would say, and super simple to make. I mean, even at home. Beef itself can be versatile in its usage.
好多人可能未必接受到食生肉，但係塔塔作為其中一款最受歡迎嘅前菜，又點可以錯過呢？呢個用碎吞拿魚、生蠔同小牛肉整成嘅塔塔，清新開胃，再配埋魚子醬，真係另有一番滋味啊！除咗牛肉塔塔之外 ，Carpaccio 都係其中一款經典菜式。Carpaccio 嘅做法係將牛肉切成薄片，再加檸檬汁、橄欖油、八松露、芝士等材料。今次大廚除咗用巴馬臣芝士，仲加埋開心果添，真係幾特別㗎。
吞拿魚他他都算係一個幾常見嘅菜式，但喺呢度咧，大廚咧就另外加咗生蠔啦同埋小牛肉，令到咧味道更加有層次。再配埋呢一個魚子醬咧，成道菜咧更加鮮味啊！
我自己咧就比較中意呢個黑安格斯牛肉薄切啦，因為每片肉咧都切得好薄，睇得出大廚嘅刀工喎，同埋上面咧鋪咗啲開心果，但係佢又唔會搶走牛肉個鮮味啊！
韓牛出口量少，短角牛呢個品種就更加矜貴。今次大廚就選用最簡單嘅煮法，最簡單嘅調味，帶出牛扒最原始嘅味道。美食當然要慢慢品嚐，牛扒放喺燒熱咗嘅生鐵盤上面，咁就可以保持溫度，唔怕食下凍咗影響口感同味道啦。配埋呢個香濃嘅芝士薯蓉，真係令人回味無窮啊！如果唔想成餐飯都淨係食紅肉，不妨試下呢個紅蝦意大利飯。忌廉同埋牛油係整意大利飯好重要嘅材料，除咗令到味道更加濃郁之外，仲可以令到口感更加 creamy。而且大廚仲加埋焙茶嚟煮，咁就可以平衡翻忌廉嘅膩滯感啦。
呢一塊牛扒咧睇落好似好普通，但係其實佢係嚟自韓國一個好罕有嘅品種。佢個肉質好嫩啦，牛味又好重，所以少少調味料咧已經好味㗎啦。再配埋呢一個康提芝士薯蓉啦 ，creamy 得嚟又唔會太流，都係真係一個幾好嘅配搭喎。
嗱喺 fine dining 個 menu 咧，一定會成日見到 risotto 呢一個 dish 啦。不過呢個 risotto 咧就比較特別，因為佢除咗有紅蝦之外，佢係用焙茶嚟煮嘅喎，咁個味道咧就真係非常之香濃啊！
最後點可以唔配翻個甜品呢？淨係睇個樣都知道呢個意大利芝士蛋糕同平時嗰啲唔同啦。呢個甜品有幾層，將朱古力薄脆片敲碎，再撈埋入邊嘅朱古力同意大利芝士蛋糕。用呢個特別嘅甜品嚟總結呢一餐，真係好圓滿啊！有人覺得品嚐食材嘅鮮味好緊要， 所以傾向簡單嘅烹飪方法。又有人覺得複雜嘅菜式、精緻嘅擺盤更緊要。其實每一種做法都可以煮到滋味無窮嘅美食，最緊要都係用心品嚐每一道菜，欣賞大廚嘅心思。
究竟1分鐘可以做到啲咩？幫啲植物淋下水、執下床、做下運動。對於好多人嚟講，1分鐘嘅時間可能太短，做唔到啲咩。不過我覺得1分鐘都可以好 productive 嘅，例如沖一杯好飲嘅咖啡。Hi, Luca.
Hi, Joyce.
In your opinion, what do coffeeholics look for in a cup of brew?
Well, coffee has many subtle tastes, and being able to appreciate coffee really takes some time. You need to compare different blends. But firstly, you're going to be looking for the aroma, and then eventually you'll be progressing to the actual coffee taste itself, trying to understand if it's sweet, sour, salty, or bitter. And temperature is also very important, and you want to be around 65 to 70 degrees to really appreciate the different flavors.
So it's all in the details.
Correct. Well, the coffee industry continues to evolve, and there's actually a lot of technology that goes from really the whole spectrum, whether it be better yields in your crops, to a selection process which is more sophisticated for better quality of beans, right down to the final consumption. I mean, coffee is quite a scientific thing, and it's more than what people expect.
I never really saw it as a science, but that's quite interesting. So what makes you different from handcrafted coffee?
Well, our experience is really we promote an automatic coffee machine or an automatic coffee experience. Our equipment is actually supported by an app which is operated through a Bluetooth-enabled device. And this app allows you to customize your cup according to intensity, size, and proportion of milk. So you set the standards within the parameters that we suggest.
So what about coffee beans? I understand that's also a really important factor when it comes to the taste of coffee.
It is indeed, and in today's socially responsible world, you really need to be sourcing your coffee beans from sustainable sources. We source our beans from farmers direct in Central South America or Africa, and we've had a long-standing business relationship with them, which equates to a better taste than the cup. Today our selection really is different blends ranging from heavy, dark, medium to light roast, including a very popular decaf, believe it or not.
I have to try the decaf later.
Sure.
How do you keep your customers engaged in this innovative coffee experience?
Well, firstly, I think we have a very unique design with just this swan neck that is exposed, and it really keeps the installation timeless. I mean, we have done some very beautiful installations in workspaces, hospitality, retail, and also a few residential
It's like
locations.
minimalistic, right?
Very much so. And then, of course, there's the technology, and we keep rolling out enhancements that are quite regular. All of our machines are actually cloud-based, so you have full tracking on how many cups are brewed, as well as any technical readings. And of course, on top of that, we also come up with some special features. For example, we'll be rolling out our first native API integration for online payments. So that really takes our equipment to a completely different dimension, still retaining its kind of lifestyle image. And lastly, of course, when it comes to beans, in addition to our standard selection, we do come out with a few special blends, just to give people an opportunity to try something different as part of our, support towards this growing coffee culture.
The whole thing sounds extremely high-tech.
It is indeed.
Definitely a unique experience.
We're very, very happy with what we have and what we are showing to the market today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
今日嘅體驗真係幾特別啊！我最中意咧就係呢一個 idea 可以用喺手機上面，即係你一擘大眼起身咧，喺電話撳幾個掣就已經可以整咖啡啦。落咗床咪即刻有得飲咯，都幾幸福㗎。
每個人咧都有唔同嘅嗜好同埋興趣。我身邊咧有唔少嘅朋友咧就中意儲嘢嘅，
有啲咧就中意儲郵票啦、唱片、古玩，甚至係硬幣等等嘅，儲埋咧就會成為一位嘅收藏家。而我今日咧約咗個朋友咧，大家可能都知道佢係一位成功嘅企業家，但係咧原來除咗工作之外咧，佢係一位手錶嘅收藏家嚟嘅。而今日咧就同佢傾下偈，睇下佢點樣可以將呢樣嘢令到生活更加有趣啦。Hi Samuel.
Hello.
When did watch become important to you?
I don't think I have any sort of very justifiable reason, but I've always had a strong passion for watches. When I was a young child, right, interestingly, like every child, I've always begged or nagged my father to buy me toys, and he always refused, like every father. But there was one time when I wanted a toy watch, and he would always get it for me. I think that's sort of a reason why I like watches. He wanted me to learn the importance of keeping time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was quite meaningful.
Oh, can you share with us what actually drives your interest in watches?
I don't like watches as a luxury. Instead, with these vintage watches, I think they're beyond just an ordinary watch. They are a piece of history. I like the story behind it, I suppose. And then when I travel, I like to speak to people. So my very, very first vintage watch, I was in London. You know, I had a chat with it was a little store, it was just a random conversation. And he started telling me about how the history behind the brand. And I got drawn in.
And do you see or do you think collecting watches is a way to reduce stress, or it is an investment tool?
I guess it's a hybrid, it's a mix. I am obviously a big fan to start with. Like I said, I like the story behind. I like the conversations we have when we acquire one. But it always begins as a passion, and then eventually I realized they're also an amazing investment.
And how do you elevate your watch purchases? Are you guided by your emotion, or numbers, or what?
Am I guided by emotions? Definitely. Yeah, it's
Excitement.
Well, yeah, to begin with, of course. So when I bought the first one or two, I obviously had zero idea. I just thought it was. It looked as if it's a fake watch, because it looks like identical to what they produce today, just slightly different. For example, the case is plastic instead of sapphire. I bought my first few because of interest, but it's a bit like entrepreneurship, I think, like running a business. Always begin with a passion. And then as you start to know more, research more, make the right decisions, you realized profits making is a possibility.
I know you have recently ordered a customized watch. Can you share with us more about it?
I can tell you exactly why I ordered that particular model. It does have a good reason, meaning. James Bond passed away in 2020, so we decided to order a watch that was featured in the very first Bond film. And there's this message, shaken, not stirred. It's quite a well-known line in the movie. I think it has a metaphorical meaning too. So in 2020, obviously, our business was hit very hard. It was a striking moment for everyone around the world. But we were shaken, but not stirred. So affected, but keeping calm. So I think that was a great message.
Yeah.
So the watch is dedicated for the year 2020.
Which one is your favorite watch?
They're all very lovable, but my personal favorite would be this, with a tropical dial, we call it. So these little sub-dials have turned brown throughout the years. So it wasn't originally brown. They were made with a particular paint, and they say because of sunlight or somehow water molecules have gone in, they've turned brown. But they're very rare because it's actually a faulty watch. So some people may have replaced it throughout the years, or that it could have been further damaged. So it could be it turned grey or black or something. So I think it's quite a rare piece.
And if someone wants to starting to collecting watches, and how do you what is your advice?
My advice would be vintage watches is becoming and have been very fashionable and trendy. Hence, there are many stores and people selling these watches, but you need to be very careful and do your research, because with these collectibles, they are from the different years, and hence I did make a lot of mistakes along the ways. I think the biggest mistake is there are lots of Frankenstein watches, as we say. For example, a watch that is from the 1960s perhaps have parts that are from the 1980s or beyond. So throughout the years, they maybe have replaced the bezel or the dial. So you need to be very careful.
我知道咧，有啲人咧買錶啦、珠寶啦、首飾等等咧，會作為一種嘅投資嘅。但係講到手錶，除咗咧好方便咁睇時間之外咧，都可以代表到咧我嗰日嘅心情㗎喎。所以話咧，每一樣嘢咧喺每個人心中咧有唔同嘅價值，最緊要揾到嗰樣嘢喺你心中嘅意義啦。
我中意藝術呢一樣嘢嘅，因為佢對每個人都有唔同嘅意義。但係我自己親手整出嚟嘅嘢咧就唔同啦。我啲作品可能唔會好出眾，有時淨係得我自己識欣賞添。但係最重要都係享受個過程，同埋嘗試多啲唔同嘅嘢。
So over the last year, the pandemic has been hitting the world very badly, and I think the negativity has been building in the society. We just want to do something relaxing and stress relieving for the public, for them to have a taste about it. And through art is a very therapeutic way of art making. Not only is the artwork very gorgeous, but also the way of making it is very extremely pleasant.
For those who think they have no art sense, we want to share that art has no particular skills. It's not always about drawing lines and shapes. Fluid art allows the colors to do the work for you. So you don't need to worry about, you don't know how to do the drawing. Fluid art doesn't always need to work on canvas. It has no boundary. You can do the water marbling art on water. When you see the color flows on top of the water, it gives a very relaxed sense, and you can relax your feeling and see the reflection of the inner self.
Compared to other arts and painting, fluid art and water marbling art is much more. There are endless possibilities in it, and people can really enjoy themselves, and like by combining different colors, paint, and letting them to spill over the canvas, it is very relaxing, which is very suitable for the people in the current society. In addition, it is also suitable for all ages and different art levels. And also, other than making it as a decoration, it can also be something daily useful stuffs like notebooks and clocks.
可能你覺得流體藝術創作對藝術感都有要求，因為顏色搭配得好，出嚟嘅效果先會靚。但係其實顏色反映出人嘅性格同心情，所以任何配搭都係獨一無二嘅。
Everyone has their unique way to express themselves. In fluid art, we don't have a specific shapes or form. It allows the colors to do it, so you can really relax yourself and let go and enjoy the art. If the people are struggling about the color, we always give suggestions to them, but it really depends on how the person think about the color. So, for example, some people think blue is sadness, but some people think blue is calmness. So it really depends on the person's perspective. I believe everyone has the ability to create. Everyone can have the ability to do art. But you know, in these busy days, everyone is busy about work, about school, so they don't have the time to try on a new thing and try on a new skills. So during the process of creating fluid art, it can give you a chance to challenge yourself to try a new thing.
而家冇得去旅行，留喺屋企嘅時間又多咗，係時候發掘新興趣啦。有啲人就會學下新語言增值下自己，有啲人就會學下畫畫做手作。不過如果你覺得學新有好大壓力，又覺得自己藝術天分唔好嘅話，不妨試下流體藝術啦，其實都係放鬆自己嘅好選擇嚟㗎。
今集嘅節目時間又差唔多啦，想知道多啲啱啱介紹過嘅內容，好簡單，上去我哋嘅網頁睇下就得啦。其實只要揾啱方法同路向，每日嘅生活都可以創造出無窮無盡嘅驚喜。想攞多啲生活靈感，嚟緊就要繼續黐住我哋，盡情去講生活、講享受啦！試下嚟自世界各地嘅精緻美食，學下點樣令每一日都過得健康啲、開心啲，仲會緊貼各種潮流資訊，同唔同嘅名人傾下偈，分享佢哋嘅成功之道。想享受人生，就千祈唔好錯過下集嘅節目啦！